Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday night. It's a little bit late, guys. Unexpected live video on Sunday night. Well, I walked into my house about 10-15 minutes ago, and I didn't want to postpone another day. So that's why I'm here. And as much as I love having you guys here and um, being able to do the live format, I hope you will watch it in a recording, and things are not going to get any more freer, and I missed you so much. So welcome. I'm going to give a few minutes while some of you gather. Hello, everyone. Let's see who is here. Hey, King Nero, how are you? And another 9 people. Guys, I'm gonna learn how to make announcements so you can see ahead of time. But the good news is I would not be able to make announcements because it's been very hectic. We're getting ready for the trip. Question number 1. Can you hear me well, guys? Please let me know if you can hear me well and we can start. We're gonna talk about the dreams today. Excellent, thank you. I'm having some tea to calm my nerves. Um, how is everyone doing tonight, guys? You aren't in bed yet. You're supposed to be resting. Oh my gosh, Glenn, hi. Thank you so much. I'm glad you can hear me. So, guys, let's get into it. Um, awesome, Christopher. Thanks, guys. You're so supportive. I love it. Здравствуйте, Medsoria. You know, I have the most supportive subscribers in the world. So thank you, guys. If not for you, I would not be here, and my message would not be heard. So I sure appreciate you. So let's talk. And this is, I usually do lives and videos about relationships, obviously. But today I want to talk, it's going to be somewhat about relationships, but it's also going to be about our life and things in general. And yeah, and I really want you guys to be engaged on this one. I don't want this to be a monologue. I want you to be able to share your thoughts and your experiences. So, this life is inspired by one of my conversations or personal sessions that I do with people. And we were talking about some life changes. This person I was talking to was really considering dramatically changing his life. And he's also asking for help, which is, you know, seeing some therapist and just kind of thinking about, what else he can do with his life and where is fulfillment. And he's having some visions, he's having some dreams. And guys, I see nothing wrong with going to all kinds of help. When you want to help yourself, when you want to go on the next level, there is nothing wrong when you go to multiple specialists. Sometimes you're just looking for one that's right for you, and you just don't know where the answer will come. And there is never too much of insights, there is never too much of knowledge, there is never too much of learning. So unless you never take action, if you never take action, then the learning is kind of just a theory. So I would say that taking action is the key. So we were talking about things, and he mentioned something that his therapist told him that dreams that he is having aren't supposed to. So dreams that he is having, he's like, they aren't supposed to be his dreams, or basically he's not supposed to having dreams about what he wants. And this is really give me such a food for thought in terms of how is that other people supposed to define and validate what we want, like what we dream about. And it's really in some ways even bothering me because I thought, there are examples in our life of extraordinary things that had been successful. Yes, I understand. We do have some certain expectations of people, right? For example, when we have an infant, by a year, we kind of expecting he's gonna be walking. By 2 years, we expecting he's gonna start talking and so forth. Um, but what about a 32-year-old? What they supposed to do? It's kind of like we have this expectations in society and kind of norm, but and then we ask for an insight on our life from people that sometimes they are very professional and dedicated and they want your best. But I was thinking about that people who live an ordinary life, they see the vision of you in terms of their happiness for you, like what would be good for them. um no, I can't say it. What would be good for you in their eyes, but you are the only person that knows what's good for you. You are the only person. To be very honest, we know deep inside what we want, what we're striving for. What if you want to do things in your lives that are out of the box and you're gonna start asking people, what do you think people are gonna tell you? Do you think that people are supposed to encourage you? I mean, how many people are going to tell you to do things out of the box? It could be dream relationship. It could be new career path, maybe changing to entrepreneurship, maybe changing for getting a qualifications or skill set for another career, and maybe you are at a more mature age, or you want to move to another country. Whatever it is, I think all the great things comes at great courage. Yes, nobody can guarantee you that your dream will ever come true, but people don't get to tell you that you're not supposed to have your dreams. That's the thing that really bothered me, when somebody who has authority tells you that you aren't supposed to have a dream. This is not a right dream for you. You should not be wanting that. And just a couple days ago, I was reconnecting with some of my friends, which was awesome to have a little bit more of the social life. And we had a great conversation. We actually were able to have a real conversation, not a small talk. And it turned out that one of my friends, they actually working right now on a movie. They making a movie with her husband, and it turned out she always wanted to be a writer. Ever since she was a little kid, she wanted to be a writer. And so when she was in fifth grade, some authority person in school told her that she cannot be the writer because she lives in a small town. She lives in the same town I'm living right now. So this person got to tell her that she not supposed to have this dream because she lives in a small town. It's like you're not chained to a small town, and now in this day and age, you can live anywhere. You can live in Bangladesh, you can live in South Africa, you can live in Tibet mountains, and still have internet and be worldwide known writer, communicator. But this is how dreams are killed. And I so much felt for this child, when she was a child, because when you're a child, you learned to trust the authority. So if the authority tells you this is impossible, we're not always born with a whole bunch of confidence about things we don't know. So we believe them. We think, or it's something that can just stop you. And this little girl back then, she already won awards for writing, in school. So she definitely had the talent. And now, what is amazing, she got to write again. So they are doing something again, and I actually found out that there are nice studios, recording studios and media place here in Lansing. So that was interesting for what I'd like to do as well here. We have more going on than I knew, but that was just mind blowing for me that people do it when you are a kid, people do it when you are grown up, and people do it when you are any age, because they measure your life to what either they want from life or what they think you should be wanting from life, but not your authentic desire. And that just really put me on fire. I Every day I was thinking about making this live, and I really wanted to do it in the daytime, guys, because I've been totally off my schedule, going to bed late. But I thought maybe somebody will hear it when they're supposed to hear it. And I just want to encourage you guys, don't let people step all over your dreams. Your dreams might change, they might evolve, they might turn to something else. But people don't get to tell you what you're supposed to want. People do not get to tell you what you're supposed to want. Think about the things you've done that you're really proud of. And I can guarantee you, you maybe in some ways had not even told anybody that you're working on something, or maybe you are in some kind of project, or maybe you're studying something. In Russian and Ukrainian culture, for example, we have this thing: do not talk about the project before it's done. Even when your project is pregnancy, you kind of keep it quiet. You keep it quiet, and I actually kind of like that, because there are certain precious things that we want to keep for ourselves. When they will come true, it will be obvious. We can keep our focus and we don't need to look for validation. So it's up to other people whether we are gonna go for our dream or not. When that was the way to do things, when this became normal. So that's just my message, guys. And now I'm gonna look your at the chat. Feel free. I really would appreciate if you will actually comment about the topic. I know you ask me all kinds of questions, but yes. And I probably will more make videos about this. I just decided today to just jump. It's been a while since I made a live video, guys. Just getting ready for the trip, being a mom, being a businesswoman, and all that. But I love doing the videos. So I love communicating with you guys. All right, so Christopher says, same views. Christopher says about he loves the simplicity of life, and he's looking for somebody with same views. There are women like this with same views, by the way. You have to believe it and you have to go for it. They probably not gonna be in the nightclubs, although I like sometimes to have fun and go places, but um, most likely you will find her, where the nature lovers are. By the way, I absolutely agree with Chris. I mean, I do love social life. I do, as you can say, I was having a little bit of a fashion show today, and it's not because I was doing a photo shoot. It was because I'm getting ready for Ukraine. So the fashion show was about what outfits I'm taking. So that was an outfit battle. Um, so far, outfits are winning over me. But I just want to say, guys, it's wonderful to have a vision. Even if you are a nature lover and you want to be find somebody like that, just start to imagining it, start to go places, and it's all possible. When we tell ourselves it's impossible, it's not helping. Lance, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate your input. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. And Lance is saying you're never too old to dream again. Yeah, you're never too old. I mean, the only time is late is when you're dead. I do see some in the things that I'm doing, guys, consulting for the Eastern relationship with Eastern European women. I do have some patterns that I see that most likely to will not lead people will not lead people to success. But I can only inspire, I can educate on what I personally know, and that's all. It's up to you what you're going to do with your situation. Unfortunately, guys, I'm working with people who sometimes run into scammers or getting addicted to websites or getting addicted to women that they dream about but they're unavailable. And sometimes I do have, and I tell them that, listen, it's not gonna work. But you have the right to not listen, and maybe your dream is just being in a dream. Maybe your goal isn't really to be with that woman, but your goal is keep chasing them online and imagining that they're your girlfriends. Then my advice is irrelevant. Or maybe you will be the lucky one that will marry a lot younger woman, and you would be an exception. There are marriages like that, and some percentage of them are real. I mean, very small one, but it's really depends. It's a little bit a different conversation here, but it depends. Maybe you're just having fun by chasing. Maybe your real goal isn't really to be with that dream person, because it's impossible. You like, let's say you want to travel, you just want to live in that illusion. It's really very very personal. And sometimes people ask me, Veronica, why don't you say this like, why don't you say to this guy that he is wasting time? And I do find my ways to guide, to once again to guide and to inspire and to educate, but it's totally up to you. I'm not gonna control you or try to see what you're doing. It's your life, it's totally up to you. And hey, maybe you will travel in Ukraine and you find the trophy wife. Maybe that's what makes you happy. Maybe you won't. Nobody can, these are slightly different topics, but I hope that you guys are getting an idea. So let me see what's happening. Oh, I have another super chat. Thank you, GR Simon. Is it Judd Simon? Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Thank you. Let's see. Looks like Lance survived an accident. Hey, man. I hope you're doing a lot better now. Life sometimes throws things at us. Thank you so much, guys. I'm happy to see you too. You are really my YouTube family. I was thinking about it, how to define my subscribers and followers and people who are, just come and interact and support. You are my YouTube family, and I'm so blessed. By the way, I'm so blessed to have you. And guess what? If I would be asking 2-3 years ago, people, do you think I should start a YouTube channel? Do you think I have any value? I was going through depression and breakup myself. I don't know, 5-6 years ago. I was just totally on the ground. I was feeling awful about life, but I knew that there is something more, and I started to do a lot of self development and a lot of things and just working on myself. But then I felt I want to share. And I have all of you guys because I have all of you guys here. Unexpected live video. Full room of people now. Because I didn't ask people what I should do. I can guarantee you, if I would ask any people I know, my family, any of my friends, like, do you think I should lead a YouTube channel? They would look at me like, um, they would just laugh at me because um, they would just laugh at me. So, because I was, people don't always see your potential, and it's not their job. It's awesome if you meet somebody who sees through, who sees a diamond in the rough, so called. It's awesome, it's awesome if you could do that. But I mean, if you meet somebody who inspires you, that's wonderful. But guess what? It's not other people's job to see your talents. It's not other people's job to know what you have inside, what you can share with the world. I was very vulnerable, and I felt that when I start to feel better after everything I had to go through, I was wondering, what if I share things with other people? Because I have a lot of experience. I went through a lot of, happiness and misery and pain and love and betrayal and good and bad. And I start to find love for love for love, and love for life again. And what about you guys? Go back and think about some things you've done that were courageous, and you didn't have time to call a friend and ask whether you should do something. And don't get me wrong, some of us have good friends, but and it's nice to be able to talk to somebody, it's wonderful. But you are the one that decides if something isn't right, doesn't measure to what other people want. If something doesn't, if your dreams, if I live in a small community. If you live in a small community and you tell them you want to travel the world, they tell you, oh, don't you want to have a garden? Don't you want to paint your house? Don't you want to have a bigger house? You want to waste all this money on travel? People only can um hey Lavert. People only can have a perspective of you that matches their own perspective of life, and it's not because they're bad, but it's also one of the reminders for us to have self-validation. You have to jump off the cliff. You have to be develop that courage, and sometimes courage can be tiny little things. Yeah, and we can develop that. We can become courageous. We can go in. Courage can be absolutely tiny things, starting with the tiny things and developing momentum in our life. You know how sometimes maybe you don't have a job, maybe you feel terrible about yourself because maybe you got fired and you can't find anything else. Well, sometimes you need to have the courage and go on a lower paid job, or sometimes you need to think maybe you have some resources in you that you're not exploring, or maybe you're just afraid to apply where you're supposed to be. You have to create, or maybe you were meant to be an entrepreneur. You have to be creating this tiny little momentum in your life. And it's very important. And it kind of leads me also, it's very hard to live together with somebody who does not believe in you. It's very hard to create that momentum when you are with somebody who does not have faith in you, who thinks that your ideas are silly and nothing gonna go out of them. I'm not saying that rely on people, and they have to be like your biggest supporters. But in a way, I am saying it in terms of it has to be your desire. You can't blame them if you're not succeeding. But you don't want to live with a frenemy. You don't want to live with a person that's kind of with you and kind of like, not so sure. And um, yeah, sometimes when we having these, when we need to create a whole new momentum, and you aren't living, or maybe you're friends with people who are not supporting you. I can just tell you from my own experience that it's it's like a huge roadblock, and you see a smaller version of yourself. You really believe, you starting to believe to others, because you don't want your spouse to make fun of you, or that you're doing weird stuff. Unfortunately, these are common experiences when one spouse pretty much, or one person in a couple have pretty much one idea, the other one have a bigger vision, have a bigger idea, but they know that bigger idea starts from tiny little things, and sometimes they're just tiny little drops, that go in a pitcher. So tiny little drops, and when at that process of creating that, somebody is not believing you or trying to make obstacles for you, it is, I mean, it really tells you something. You really need to think, is this really the right person? Or maybe you can have a conversation, maybe they would understand. I mean, you can give it a chance. But if you have a dream and you're not supported, because I consider partnerships the most close relationship. For example, a woman and a man together, to me, these two supposed to be the closest people in the world, not their mom and dad, not their, even not their kids. It's powerful when not friends also. If you have to go for support to your friends to support your dreams because your husband or wife not supporting you, you might be at the wrong place. And you might wonder, how do I know all this? I'm just hinting you. When somebody is not supporting your dreams and looks down on you, it's a battle, and it's up for you to decide. But I say, keep the dream and keep being authentic to yourself. You guys know Lisa Nichols? I don't know if you do. Lisa Nichols is now, you know, she's world known. She's one of the top speakers in the world. And when she was doing her degree in college or high school, I'm not sure, the teacher told her that she should never speak in public, that she's the weakest writer, and she better gets a desk job. And now she's, number one of the top. I mean, she has like, I don't know how many $1 billion company right now. So, we should doubt what people tell us, and we should go for it anyway. My son has this also, he reading the comics. I forgot what it is. It's something funny. Oh, something really funny, and to the kids stuff, the boys stuff, and it's something about like Captain Underpants. It's just something hilarious, something that boys of his age like. I mean, I'm kind of laughing at it, but it's kind of funny because those books are written by a kid. Of course, he was grown up, but he basically wrote these books when he was in third or fourth grade, and there is this like the adventures that little boys like. And in the beginning of the book, he was sharing his story, how he was drawing his comics in sitting in school, and the teacher was so mad at him, and she shredded, she uh, destroyed all of his work and told him, all kinds of things, that he's useless and this will never work. But he still persevered, and his name is Dave Pilkey. he's a kids author, he's bestseller, he's probably a millionaire right now because his kids book wildly popular. And he did his own thing. He didn't fit the box. He didn't get the perfect grades. He was drawing comics, but that was his path. And that's why I'm a firm believer that nobody gets to tell you what your path is. And hey, you might completely not succeed, but this is not to other people. This is not for consideration to others. That is your responsibility, how you're gonna take your path. So I just want to tell you guys, if the person you're with, your significant other, your friends, if they are not, watch out for your dreams as they were your own kids. Protect them. Don't let anybody try to shape them for you. And yeah, learn some examples. I just named two. There are millions. So there are millions of people that, well, you know what? I think on some levels, I hope that there are millions of people that did their thing, despite of, and don't afraid to make mistakes. Don't afraid to look silly. Don't afraid to not be perfect. Don't afraid to be yourself. To be yourself. Sometimes people like you because you aren't perfect. Yeah. Sometimes that's why people like you, because you aren't perfect. They can relate to you, right? Okay, guys. Now I want to see what you've been saying. All right, let me go. Oh, thank you, Simon. Yes, it's very hard to live with someone who doesn't believe in you. Boy, it is. I'm glad that you're going to tell this friend this phrase to somebody who needs to hear it. Hey, maybe it will inspire something better, or it will give somebody clarity on where they are, because it's very hard sometimes to see things when you're in the middle. But I appreciate that. Refer them to my channel too. Please. All right, Dave is saying you need a real support, not fake support. And that means someone who can be objective and not a rubber straight. Yes, that's true. We all need support. It's true. But, to be very honest, the best thing I personally started in my life, I had zero support and things were totally against me. And I can guarantee you might have stories like that when you had zero support and everything is against you. And if you can get that going, you actually will have support and friends later on, because you will create that momentum that is positive, that you're doing something, and people who are like you or similar to you, they would join you. They would you would meet people that actually you can talk to, and you can be amazed that yes, maybe you could, um, maybe you could count on somebody. But really, it's all boils down the greatest decisions in your life you have to take yourself. So, all right. Okay, somebody is saying here something about my dream to have a large family in order to help our people combat the suicidal tendency of our civilization with its weak men, promiscuous women, and the overall low bit rates. Listen, that's, I see a lot of like a big negative message in it. Um, because you know there are different tendencies, and if you want to create a large family, create a large family. Don't worry about um, who else, whatever anybody else doing. You gotta focus on your goal, right? I cannot You cannot meet a great woman if you say that all women are a certain way. You cannot meet a great man if you say that, you know overall they're terrible. So just kind of simplifying. Oh, so yeah, I mean, that's a little bit a different of a message. And guys, I'm a little tired. My own computer is kind of fading right now. But that's what I want to say. When you have a dream, you have to associate that dream with something positive. So if your dream is a relationship or having a family, you have to find a way how you see women in a positive light. Example, what if in my channel I would be telling you that men in general are terrible, like absolutely hate men. Yes, had terrible experiences. You know, things did not work out. Never worked out. Never met anybody good. But maybe like if I would be making these generalizations on my channel, how many men like what percentage of you guys would be watching me? Nobody. Or maybe a bunch of haters, a bunch of people that just don't know how to kill their time. Like nobody. If I would say, but you guys are good, no, you guys are really good, but the other men, oh boys, are so bad. And I would just say all these examples. If we want, we can find the proof of any thought that we are having. you know it's like, when you watch uh, Democrats and Republicans, it's like, are they talking about same event? Like, you can find the proof. If you have a goal, you can find the proof to everything. So why not to find positive things and keep affirming them? That is my, guys, I'm sharing with you my secret weapon to life. um yes. How about finding positive things? So when I have a dream and I have a goal, like let's say my dream is travel, I'm not gonna go and ask about travel people who are broke, negative, that have money for cigarettes and wine, and have a terrible life. Um, I'm not gonna ask these people who blame everybody. I'm gonna ask people who travel. And by the way, travel was my dream for 7 years in a row. And in last 2 years, I traveled uh, more than I traveled in last 10 years. In last 2 calendar years, it's been plane after plane after plane here in US, in Ukraine, in Turkey, and this is just scratching the surface. But if I would be referring to people that never done it, you just gotta find your inspiration sources, people who already achieve your dream, and just be around that beautiful place. You have to find proofs that things that you love exist and people are doing them, and it's not a big deal. If you would ask me 5 years ago about traveling and spending like hundreds and thousands of dollars on travel, I would tell you, oh my God, that might be it's like I was even afraid to dream about it. And now I'm learning that there is no big dream enough. Okay, I found something that I want to finish with. If nobody laughing at your dreams aren't big enough. Once again, if nobody laughing at your dreams aren't big enough. Guys, be authentic and let yourself dive into what's really inside and do it. There is no point of dreaming about something that aren't is not getting your blood going and you waking up and you going without sleep and food, but you have that fuel. We're not getting energy from, yeah, we need food to function, preferably good food, preferably fresh air. But sometimes, despite of maybe lack of food, lack of sleep, lack of air, you go on that fire, on that sparkle that happens in your body when you are going after that big dream because you have a vision. No, not just dreaming about, okay, I'm gonna be traveling, but what that traveling will give you. Will it give you a sense of purpose? Will it give you a sense of joy? Will it give you a sense of fulfillment? Would it give you a sense of freedom? Will you, what, it's not just the travel thing, it's what's behind it. What is that you really want? Or if you want a family, what it really means to you. What's having a child means to you. What do you think it's gonna be like? So we sometimes need to go beyond the dream, not just having seen, okay, I'm gonna have this beautiful son, but oh my God, we're gonna be able to do things. I'm gonna be able to learn, to learn from him and teach him something. I will be able to show somebody the world. Or maybe you want to adopt a child and your mission would be fulfilled because you will know by the end of your life you're very important in the life of a child. Nobody can take it away from you. You went for your dream, and there is absolutely um, no way that, or it doesn't matter that anybody is saying, because you know that you did it and you made a difference in someone's life, and that was your dream. You don't have to share it with somebody, but make sure if you would have shared it, people would freak out. That means the dream was you. I want to wish you guys a very good night, having dreams while you sleeping, good dreams, and follow them in a real life. Thank you.